We're live.
Hi, everyone. Glad you could join us. So welcome to Cocktail Therapy Hour. We decided to do something different today, and we took it outside of the recording studio.
Because we're badasses. Cocktail Therapy Hour.
Why don't you grab a drink and join us? Let's have a little conversation. Let's have a little fun. Let me tell you, today's drink of choice is, hold on a minute, I'll let you know. Pineapple and Captain Morgan's.
Mine is pineapple with probably just some vodka and a touch of grenadine.
Delicious.
I actually prefer this drink with like a cake vodka or a vanilla vodka or rum. And mixed a little better than this one is. It's a little watery. But we're paying for this, so that's probably why.
I stirred it.
We got a viewer.
Oh my God, hi viewer.
I don't know who you are, but hi.
So we were talking about, I was telling a story about my mom. My mom's gonna kill me if she sees this, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and tell it. A lot of my friends already know this, but so my mom has a way of changing the name of places to accommodate what she knows how to say in English and how she can pronounce things. So one day she asked me if I could take her back to that restaurant we went to called Fabrice. Fabrice, okay people? We all know Fabrice as what we spray the couch with, right? But my mom wanted to go back to this restaurant. So in being the sleuth that I am when I talk to my mom, I asked her a question. I said, what did you eat at Fabrice? So she tells me, oh, tostones relleno, you know, for those in Spanish, it's like the green plantain fried, and they make it into a little cup, and then you fill it with something, whether it be picadillo or shrimp or whatever meat or veggies or whatever you want. And then I always ask her what drink she had, because she remembers the places she eats at by the alcohol she drinks. Now, for those that follow me know, I always take a picture of my mom wherever we go with the drink of choice that she has for that day. So she tells me she had something with like a rum runner pina colada mix. It was a frozen drink with a shot of dark rum. I figured out where she wanted to go. Can anybody guess what it is? Bahama Breeze, people. Not Fabrice, Bahama Breeze.
So from now on, when you go to Bahama Breeze, we're gonna call it Fabrice.
So you guys know, okay? So if we say, hey, let's meet up at Fabrice, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Bahama Breeze.
Fabrice.
My poor mom. My poor mom. But so we wanted to know, we want to do these little meetups. Right now it's a 2-person meetup at a bar because we both need therapy and we both needed a cocktail. So why not do it in an hour, do Cocktail Therapy Hour, right? So we decided that we were looking at which listeners would love to come out with us and do a meetup. I would love to meet some of you. I would love, you know, if you're local, we're located in Miami. So wherever you want to go, we can meet up and have a conversation. We promise not to put you on camera unless you want to be put on camera. We promise not to record you if you don't want to be recorded.
But we can't promise that we won't embarrass you.
Exactly.
Because honestly, if my husband knew that I was out here acting a fool, he'd be so embarrassed.
Listen, it's time to have a little fun. We've been in quarantine. We've been, you know, working, you know, hard from home with kids, without kids, taking care of parents, not taking care of parents, that we need to take at least, at the minimum, an hour for ourselves. However that looks for you. For me, it looks like this for today. Tomorrow it might look different. It might be a drink in my room watching Netflix, you know. So we're either gonna end up in 2 types of groups after the quarantine is over. AA or Weight Watchers. Some of us in both places.
I'm definitely going to Weight Watchers.
Some of us in both places. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Would you be willing to do therapy hour with us? Maybe tune in with us. We're really trying we're trying new things. It's all about trying new things. It's all about expanding what you can and cannot do. We wanted to engage Some of the things we say may enrage you, some may make you laugh. I roll my eyes all the time at things that people say to me. I do it to Ronnie all the time. Right?
Just so you know, neither one of us is comfortable on camera. But we're just, I think, at an age and a point in our lives where we just don't give a shit. I mean, I do a little bit.
I was telling her actually today that I don't record myself. You know, I have conversations all the time with my friends and stuff, and some of those conversations are, you know, things that I would love to record. But I don't video record myself because we're so self-critical that, you know, we don't want to see ourselves on camera. But you know what? I read a book that was recommended by Ronnie, and one of the things it says is just start, right? Just start doing whatever it is that you want to do. Practice it. Do it over and over again. Start ugly because it gets better. You know, you make things better. You change things. You know, maybe looking at myself on camera will trigger my brain into saying, hey, you know what? Maybe you need that Weight Watchers thing now, not later, right? We get comfortable in who we are. We don't want to try new things. We're afraid of the things we don't know and the unknown. But you know what? Put yourself out there. Do what you need to do, because you know what? It opens so many doors. Like I'm very thankful that I was able to voice for the first time what I wanted to do, which was podcasting. And right next to me was a woman that had a similar idea on the other end. And it was just such a perfect timing, you know. Voice your desires, voice your dream, because when you voice your dream, people listen. And when people listen, you never know what they can give you, what they can afford you, or what they can, the advice they can give you. Some people have gone through the same things and they can give you pointers. You meet and you learn so many people, you know, so many things from so many people, because you made that, you took that fear and you actually voiced your dream. You voiced what you wanted. Granted, you are going to get people that are going to look at you and go, really, why would you want to do that? It doesn't matter. Let them say that, because it doesn't matter. Those people that say, why would you do that? Well, if they don't get it, they don't need to get it. They're not the ones doing it. You get it. I started the podcasting because it was a therapy for me. I talk to people all the time. People that know me know I talk all the time to people in line, to people in line, everywhere. So if I talk, why wouldn't I do this? Why wouldn't I talk on a podcast? Because a lot of my life stories happen to so many other people. I'm not the only one that goes through what go through. Not the only one taking care of parents. Not the only one, you know, going through what I'm going through with medical diagnosis and having to track medicine and things like that. And then on top of that, being single, living a good life, trying to live a good life in quarantine, you know, trying to maintain my sanity in quarantine, trying to maintain my food intake, which I'm failing at in quarantine, trying to minimize my drinking in quarantine, which I'm failing at. All those things, I'm not the only one. So if someone out there can see someone else going through the same thing, they may not feel so bad or so lonely. What do you think?
You know what? We're here, we're at Flannigans. We're having our first like real official cocktail therapy hour, the name of the show. And it's really kind of hitting home, because there are so many things that have been on my mind that I haven't expressed out loud, right? And I think when we changed the name to Cocktail Therapy Hour, that was kind of the point, was just to get with people or not, and just doesn't have to be a cocktail, but it can be anything, and just talk about what's going on in your life or with you, or what's on your mind.
We wanted to create an atmosphere where you can grab your drink of choice, whether it be coffee, tea, milk, whatever it is, and be able to sit down and actually listen to a conversation, participate with the conversation, send us an email, you know, post something on Instagram, DM us privately, whatever it needs. You know, you have, one of the things that I was talking to someone about the podcast yesterday, and she goes to me, could I suggest a subject to talk about? Oh my gosh,
like, yeah.
Yes. please.
What was her suggestion?
Well, she said she's gonna write. She wants to write it, but she wanted to make sure before that if it was something that we would accept.
That dude honking knows we're podcasting right now.
Yeah, this is crazy. But yes, you have a subject that you want us to tackle, please do. We have a mother, a daughter, an aunt, a godmother. We have a lot of experience here. Women in the workforce, with jobs, without jobs. We have a lot to talk about, and please send us your subjects. We would love it. I think that it would make it more interactive, and if we can give you things that make you happy and that make you listen and make you be a part of a community, what we're trying to create is a community. Hi, listeners. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us. And
we see you.
We see you. We want you to stay safe. We want you to stay sane. Write your thoughts down. Start your stuff, whether it's ugly or not.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to go back. Before we stop, there was something that I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Last week you did a recording with Attorney Richardson.
Yes, I did.
Where you guys talked about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a perspective that I really want you to, I don't know if you were able to really voice your perspective during that recording, just because it was a different dialogue. But I was fascinated to learn that you have taken the time outside of any conversation that you and I have had, and I don't know what your conversations have been with other people, but that you've taken the time to really think about the words Black Lives Matter and what they mean. So this isn't meant, I'm bringing this up not as a source of controversy, because I don't think there's any controversy in saying that, yeah, Black Lives Matter. No controversy there. But there's controversy politically and in the media. So what brought on your decision to think about what that really means?
It started, I'm very lucky that I have such a diverse amount of friends and acquaintances that I've been able to, I get on Facebook and I read people's opinions and their comments and what they see and what hurts them, and what part of their, this is a time where I believe everyone in the United States is affected by the same thing at the same time. Two things at the same time. We have coronavirus going on, the quarantine that's affecting a lot of people.
The Rona.
And then we also have the Black Lives Matter movement. All the stories. I can only tell you that I've had so many conversations with friends, but I've also listened and turned off my mouth, which is the hardest thing to do, and listened to what everybody is saying. I do not talk politics with anyone. That has been a rule from the beginning for me, because opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. And if you want to maintain your friends, and if you want to maintain, that's one conversation you don't need to have. You need to be clear within yourself what your political views are, because this is it only matters here. Because when you're voting, it's you and the ballot, right? So this is not political. Don't write political stuff. I'm not going to, I'm not going to engage you on politics, okay? But what happened to me with Black Lives Matter is that I wanted to see where it stems from. And I learned that I have a lot of friends that say all lives matter, blue lives matter. Yes, I'm with you. All lives matter. But the issue here is not that all lives matter. The issue here is, are we looking at all lives matter equally? And until we get to a more equal ground, however that may look, but it has to be equal, all lives are not going to matter the same. And that's the problem. Right now, hashtag Black Lives Matter is happening, and it's trending, and people, and it's the stuff on the news now, because this happened to be the group of people in our world that are being affected. Okay? I would like to see that Black Lives Matter is not needed anymore. I would love to see all lives matter trending. Whether you wear the uniform, whether you don't wear the uniform, wherever you live, wherever you are, whoever you are, that everyone is equal. We don't have that today. And that's what drove me to talk to John and to get a perspective. Have conversations with people. Do not be afraid to have non-political conversations with people, but do it with an open mind, with an open heart. Listen and speak. Do not argue, do not fight. That doesn't get us anywhere, that doesn't take us anywhere. But really listen. You may not agree with everything, but you get to see someone else's perspective. And that's what's important. We're not taking the time to listen. Don't look at the news. Don't let the news tell you what you should think or not think. Conversate. Well, I don't even know if that's a fucking word. But anyway, have conversations with people one-on-one. Listen to what your neighbor is talking about, how they feel. Have compassion. We're humans. We were built with compassion. Okay? Use it. Use it. There's a whole group of people that need your compassion right now. And you never know when a group that you're affiliated with will be targeted again, or targeted the first time. The LGBTQ community, all of them, just listen. Listen to your brothers and your sisters. Have conversations. That's all I ask. Have conversations.
I think it's important, you know, for every movement. At the end of the day, you know, you have to treat people well. You know, treat them well. It doesn't matter what your differences are. Wow.
Our food is here.
Our food is here.
If you could see what Ronnie ordered.
I'm so embarrassed.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a camera with a light.
So cool.
Thanks.
All right.
I'm not showing you guys my food because we ordered this as a combination between us all.
I will show you my rock and roll ribs. I think that's what they call. But let me tell you, I've been jonesing for these for a long time.
We ordered nachos because we're at Flannigans, and I've never been to Flannigans.
I told you it was a lot.
These are the nachos. Like, these are the freaking nachos. Woo. Holy crap.
Oh my God, they didn't bring our chili on the side.
Okay, we'll have to
Well,
hit 'em up
guys,
for that.
we're going to go ahead.
But let me finish my point, though, right? So, since we got some people watching. So, I think it's important that people understand, no matter how you feel about a certain subject, that you treat each other with respect and kindly, right? So even if you're dealing with, you know, you say, well, you know, they committed this crime or they committed, you know what? You have to be a good person when you're really mad, and when you're really upset, you have to remember to be a good person, period. You have to be able to sleep with yourself at night. So,
and remember, you have the right to disengage when someone's being rude and treating you bad.
Yeah.
Disengage. Walk away. Don't have that conversation with that particular person. Let them get over their anger. Let them get over whatever's triggering them, because half of the time you're not the trigger. Don't let it fall on you to feel it. Okay? Anything else?
Nope. We'll see you guys back in a little bit. We're gonna wolf down these nachos and whatever this is that Vilma got, and we'll be back on in a bit. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys
so
for
much,
listening.
and tune in. We love you. Please
to the next cocktail.
To the next. Don't forget.
Hour.
Don't forget us. We won't forget you. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.